Hey, what's going on, Rocketeers? In this video, we're going to look at the perfect freestyle technique. Parker is one of the best athletes in his age group in the entire United States of America. The main reason is because his technique is nearly flawless. When you breathe to the side on freestyle, you breathe to the side and slightly behind you. You'll see the swimmer here tilts his forehead down into the water in order to lift his chin out of the water to breathe. Far too often, most beginners are lifting their head forwards and up and a little bit to the side in order to breathe. You don't want to lift forwards and up. You want to breathe to the side and slightly behind you, not to the side and slightly in front of you. I'll usually start by teaching the pineapple. Roll all the way onto your back for your breath. Once you're good at that, roll all the way onto your back, extending one arm the entire time. Once you've mastered that, do a half pineapple where you just roll onto your side and breathe as much as you need to. Once you've mastered that step, then rotate onto your side, half pineapple with one arm extended, and take one breath and close the window. Before you know it, you'll be breathing to the side like a pro. It's very important to lead with the crown of your head when you swim. Don't press your eyes forward and lead with your forehead. Tilt the chin down a little bit. You don't have to stare right down at the bottom of the pool. I like to look at a 45-degree angle, so a little bit in front of me and down. You can keep your chin tucked and look forward a little bit with your eyeballs. They move independently inside your head. You don't need your whole head to look in front of you. If you have a problem with sinking legs, oftentimes you have a head position that is too high. Leading with the crown of your head and keeping your head lower in the water will lift your legs higher in the water because your body's kind of like a seesaw. When your head goes down, your legs come up. So it's better to keep your head more underwater than it is out of the water. And when you breathe, it's important to keep that ear on your shoulder and only allow one goggle out of the water. You don't need both eyes out of the water to breathe. You just need your mouth. Your mouth is on your chin, not your forehead. So keep your forehead down and just pop your chin out. With freestyle, it's important to keep one hand in front of your head at all times. This is called front quadrant swimming. Front quadrant swimming allows your body to balance in the water, bringing your legs higher. Be patient and wait for the other hand to catch up before taking your next stroke. If you swim like a windmill or with your hands down by your pockets, you're gonna get stuck and have no control. You also might find your legs start sinking. The swimmer here is extending his hand as far in front of his head on every stroke as he can. That will lengthen out his body line and his spine in the water. The taller you can swim, the better. The other reason it's good to be as tall in the water as possible is because your core engages the longer your body line is. If you swim too short and choppy, you're not really using your core, but rather your limb muscles. Extending out in front and stretching your body line out in the water on every stroke by reaching your fingertips in front and reaching your toes out back, you're going to engage your core and have a much smoother and faster freestyle. It'll also be a lot easier. Now you'll see he's not trying to kick as hard as he possibly can. In fact, you don't need to kick as hard as you can. Oftentimes, your legs will do as much kicking as they need to if you just let them drift behind you. Kick lightly. Don't drive the legs too hard. Don't think about kicking the water down. More think about flipping the water up with the bottom of your feet. This is a nice steady 6-beat kick. The natural rotation of your body in the water is going to keep your legs kicking. You might even be surprised how much you kick the less you think about it. Some people get really tired when they swim because they drive their legs too hard. Kicking too fast is going to slow you down in the long run because you're going to burn out and start having cramps and things like that. So you're not really in it for a sprint. You kind of want to be able to last a long time. You want to swim with efficiency. Efficiency is swimming as fast as you can using the least amount of energy. Now, the longer you're going, the more efficient you'll need to be, the more energy you'll need to reserve. The shorter your swim, the faster you can go. You don't have to reserve as much energy, so you can kick a little bit harder. But most of us are swimming laps for exercise, so we'll want to have a technique like this. Now he's breathing every 2 strokes. I like this technique the best. You can breathe every 3 if that's what you prefer, or every 4. But I wouldn't breathe more than every 4 strokes per breath. That is the maximum. You won't be getting enough oxygen to your muscles to keep them firing over and over again. Breathing 2s, however, will allow you to keep the oxygen in your muscles, feeling fresh even as you swim for a very long time. When Parker swims freestyle, he rotates his body side to side. When he rolls all the way onto his side for one stroke, that's extending his arm, allowing him to grab more water. It's also allowing the arm that's pressing back to extend farther back, pressing more water. A body on its side is also more hydrodynamic than a flat body in the water. The other way you can tell he's all the way on his side is the other shoulder, the one of the arm that's in the air, the recovery stroke. That shoulder is peaking above the water on every stroke. You can even see his armpit come out of the water as well. That's an excellent rotation. Right here you'll see Parker's hands landing out in front of his head on every single stroke. That way he's hydrodynamic because a hand is shaped more like an arrow than a head. So when a hand enters right in front of his head and extends out front, it's like he's plowing the way and displacing the water around his body. You can see how long he swims and how tall his body line is in the water. You'll also notice he has a very consistent kick the entire time. Also remember, you're always traveling in the direction of the back of your hand. Therefore, as soon as your hand enters the water, it's good to start catching the water by pointing your fingertips down and keeping your elbows sturdy and high. This is known as an early vertical forearm or a high elbow catch. Katie Ledecky does this better than any swimmer in the world. There's a drill you can do. In fact, it's the hardest drill in freestyle, but it is also the most beneficial. It's called the hand lead claw. With one hand extended out front, the other arm will be above your head, kind of like it's frozen in the middle of its stroke. Some people call this the sailboat drill because your elbow looks like it makes the sail of a sailboat. Other people call it the bow and arrow drill, and other people call it the shark fin drill. I like to call it hand lead claw because it's part of the hand lead series, which is 7 drills designed to make your freestyle faster and more balanced. If you've ever felt loose and uncontrolled in the water, the hand lead series will help you tighten things up and get you back in control. Because this drill is so hard, I recommend switching arms every 5 to 7 seconds. I also recommend wearing fins when practicing this. If you can do this drill well, then you're going to be an expert swimmer. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please flash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on our other social media platforms for shorter clips and tips throughout the week. Thanks for watching this video. See you guys next time.